It's like, I
Dude,
mean, it's
beer is so
everywhere.
cheap down here.
You're fucking right, dude. It's great.
It's like you go to Denver, it's like there's this hopping, like, progressive kind of bar scene.
The
Same thing with
IPA
Nashville.
drinkers.
Yeah, Asheville, North Carolina is another one. Atlanta's becoming that way. It hasn't been for a while. But yeah, Austin is like when I walked. Yeah, this is this is the
Wait, are we
Portland of
recording
the
right now, by
South.
the way? Might
Oh
be
yeah, we're definitely recording.
wiggity whack.
I've
Love
been
it.
recording for like 2 minutes now.
Shouldn't have even asked. Should have just.
Should have
Doesn't
just
it
let it roll.
doesn't?
Now you feel the pressure to perform. It's not going to be as
I mean, a
natural.
little bit. I'm tipsy. I'm tipsy, so I don't care.
We were talking about like Tool earlier and gay shit,
Mhm.
so it doesn't matter. Cards are on the
God,
table.
Tool is not gay, bro. Tool.
No, but
Tool's
Tool is
talking
fine.
about
okay.
bands.
Tool
I got a tool that he can use.
is
But,
player.
They got a Tool. So Turbo, what is the most like blue pilled thing that's happened to you since you got to Brooklyn?
Ooh,
the
that's a
most
good one.
blue.
I was
pill
actually
thing.
thinking about that earlier. I was like, yeah, he just moved to Brooklyn. He's from Florida. He kind of he's like a real with it G. So I mean, like, what's
Nothing in this city has blue pilled me or like moved me to the left.
I mean, I feel like I would have opened up to some like say like public transportation or something. Like
Oh well, you know
something,
what? No, that is pretty sick. I give it
yeah.
to them on that.
Like when I went to New
I'm
York, it's
selling
like,
my
okay,
car.
yeah, like if this many people lived in this amount of square mileage, all this makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. Like I said, I'm
Sure.
selling my car this weekend. I got an appointment.
Right,
So
yeah.
like for real, I didn't plan on doing that when I moved up here because it's like, dude, I can't live without a car. Fuck anybody that says you can live without a car, but you really don't need it. I
This-
only get in
I
it to
don't even
move it.
use my car down here in South Texas. I walk everywhere because everything's so close. Most
That must be
urb,
nice.
yeah, most urban areas you will do all right without it, unless if you live in like one of those North Texas white suburban neighborhoods where everything's just spaced out.
That's exactly
Yeah.
where I live.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like a Central Texas. But like like a city like Nashville's just recently gotten into the whole like, I mean, it was horrible too. They like put a gun against everyone's head, and they were like, "We're either going to spend $1 billion on bike lanes, or we get nothing." And it's like, well, like pretty much
You
the
should
whole city
start.
just split in half.
That would be funny that if they did after that's done, you just see the fatalities of bike riders just
Of course,
skyrocket.
well,
People are
of course,
people are
it's
just
like
Dude,
it's
flying.
happened in Austin. Like
Bikes are
it's
not
happened
the
everywhere.
fucking answer, bro.
I'll be
Bikers
back
are
one
the
second.
Here's the
absolute
thing: is like put them on a
worst.
sidewalk where there's actually some sort of barrier in between a 3,000 pound car hitting them or not like where they're riding together. Like that's just the stupidest thing. I guess what they're more afraid of, like pedestrians getting hit by bike riders on a sidewalk than like keeping bike riders safe.
Yeah. I think most of the time when a bike rider gets hit, it's their fault. And I think that
Well, were they on a bike?
biking should be banned in every city. What are you too good for walking? Like,
Yeah,
if
I
you gotta
agree.
go any further than you can walk, then get on the fucking train. Like,
that's a good point, especially in like a city.
you don't need to bike. You can walk.
Well, in a city area, you're always hitting like intersections. You're having to fucking stop. You're not
Yeah,
really
how much
really
faster?
saving yourself that much time, especially considering how many fucking people are on the sidewalk.
No, no, and they drive like fucking maniacs on their bikes.
There's like a
We
perfect
should
They always
start.
medium.
deserve it.
We should start genociding city bike riders. I'm telling you, we
We're
need to create
talking
a
about
movement.
this for years.
Petition. This needs to
Oh
be
yeah.
petitioned on what's the bitch who took over after Cuomo? We need a petition to go on her desk
Yeah,
right
whatever.
now.
Her name.
Get it going. We need a public movement here.
I
Hell
feel
yeah.
like
We
everything
need to
is
take the
Grand
bike
Theft
riders.
Auto.
We need to put them into camps just outside of the city limits so the white people don't see it. They don't get outraged. All right?
They're
Get
gonna
them
have their
nice and
own.
Maybe
locked
in
up, and then like
Jersey.
as soon as they're out of sight, out of mind, they don't even have their bikes anymore. You know how efficient that
No,
is?
no, no, no. We'll give
We
them
don't
their
even have to
bikes.
hit them with our
They're gonna be
cars.
in their camps with their bikes, and we're gonna have special like tracks where they can ride their bikes in circles and get the exercise that they need to. So it's a special camp just
Oh,
for them, so
word.
they can ride their bikes.
Well, how the hell am I going
Just
to
make
get
them
my
an
Uber
entirely
Uber
separate
Eats that I can
community.
spit on?
Well, they can't move their bikes out of the what is it? The camp.
Yeah, like
That's
out of the
limited
camp. But
to
like give them
yeah.
like a bike McDonald's, give them a bike HEB, just give
Mhm.
them a bike
Like
office building.
It's just gonna be like it's gonna be like one of those Levitt towns from like the 50s where it's just an enclosed white whatever it is community that never goes
Suburban.
I
outside.
think that's
Yeah,
called Utopia.
they never go out there. It's just like walled in. They're living their own separate but equal society.
Mm-hmm.
Keyword separate but equal for the bikers.
I feel
We're
like
bringing it back
things have
now.
been like trending in
Absolutely.
that direction for the past like 5 years at least. Where I've never
Jim
like
Crow, more like Jim Retro.
Bringing it back.
Jim, bring it back. Yeah, Jim, bring it back. Like I've never heard so many like pretend serious people in my life talk about segregation in such like a positive way. I feel like there's common cause between like the KKK and some of these people.
I
So
think what's
funny.
funny is the people who are like minority groups, and they're like, "Yeah, we want separate but equal because we don't want to be around your fucking dumb ass. Get the hell away
It's
from us." Like they're at that
it's
point where they're
so
fed
funny.
up.
Because we
Yeah,
don't wash our legs, they don't want to live around us anymore.
yeah. We don't wash our chicken.
No.
Have you guys seen those videos with the bleach? I just figured out this like 5 days ago. Where
Bleach on chicken?
yeah, like there's
No,
a
you're not supposed to do that.
dude, of
That sounds
course,
like it was
but like
Oh, that
poisoning.
reminds me.
dude, they brought like
That
who's
reminds
that?
me of a one.
It's not Dr. Phil, but like
You
it's
don't have
some.
to rinse it either. That's bullshit.
No, you don't have to do it either. Like it's some who's the famous Dr. Oz. They had him on the Breakfast Club, which is already a culture mashup that I think is hilarious. But like he was like trying to convince, the audience like that putting bleach on chicken or washing your chicken is like actually worse for you because it like all the little particles of salmonella get spread around when you wash it instead of putting it directly into the oven. And they were not having it. It was so fun.
That's the most retarded fucking thing I've ever heard.
I
Like,
had to see the video in order to believe that it actually happened. Like I didn't know that this even idea of washing chicken existed until like
yeah,
less than a week
like
ago.
washing chicken is a thing, but like, if anything, you're just like washing off little fucking microbes and shit that are healthy.
Yeah, there's some
That's
like
all you're
weird
doing.
slime. Like there's some weird slime we've all seen before on some chicken
No, if
breasts.
it's slimy, it's bad. You're not supposed to eat chicken that's
Oh
gone
yeah.
slimy.
Oh no,
Uh,
SJW picky.
yeah, this is
Picky.
this is obviously Turbo coming out of his Brooklyn Shire and telling us from his elite
The
status
Italian
where
way of cooking is rubbed off on him now. He's picked up a few tips and tricks. Speaking
Gonna
of which,
say
I actually
gobbledygook.
someone sent me a video that was
Don't know
like
anything about that.
it was some YouTube video about some guy explaining his experience growing up Italian, and the way he framed it was that like we were closed in because we were better than everyone else, and I just love this image of like Italians in their own little situation being like white supremacists. They're
Well, I mean, like,
Italians.
I feel like
They're
there
they're
had
like,
to
we
have
didn't.
been a smidge of that,
Like
like
his
in the
exact words were
40s.
like, "We didn't talk to strangers because we thought we were better than them," and is like, and we felt
Hell
bad
yeah.
for people who had to talk to people who weren't Italian, or something
Oh
like
man,
that.
that's
It's
how
so funny to
man they
think
dead
of.
ass be acting like acidic Jews, huh?
Yeah, they were
Let
like,
me
our
off for just a
society's
second. I
better
gotta take a
because
leak.
they were like, our society's better because we got a meat man, a milk man. They've got like a man for every little trade rather than going to like the store or whatever. And it's just, I'm just like, how is there not a KKK but for Italians?
Hey, be the change you wish to see in this world. Form it.
The
Make it
Sicilian,
happen.
it's
Make moves
SSS,
or make excuses.
the Sicilian
The Sicilians
supremacy,
suck service.
Sicilian suck service. It's just a bunch of
There's the title.
it's a bunch of Sicilian men going around in red, white, and green hood, bed sheets or whatever, and they're sucking each other off.
Absolutely. It's like the human centipede, but not.
Yeah,
You guys
Yeah.
actually seen that movie?
the human centipede.
No.
Yeah. I've seen Teeth, that like other fucked up one.
Oh
with the
yeah,
woman that has the vagina with teeth. That we
yeah.
could
Mm-hmm.
talk about, but like, will you explain who's seen it again? Was it
I've
you,
seen it.
Kim?
Yeah, yeah.
I think
So,
everybody's seen
is it
it.
really what it's? I haven't, so I'll be the
It
dumb audience
like
guy
the
again
first one. It's been
every
so
time.
many years since I've seen it, so I'll probably get this wrong. But the first
Could be
one is
close.
like the doctor. He like kidnaps three people, and quite literally, knocks them out, and they wake up and their surgery sewn together, and then the rest of the movie is just like them stuck at this dude's house. So halfway through the movie, the person who's what is it, at the end of the line or whatever, or in the middle, one of the two, they're starting to die because their entire diet for the last 3 days has been human excrement, and it's just stuff like that, and it's not scary. It's kind of just gross.
Just
It's
like
I
just
didn't I
sick.
didn't really find it that
yeah.
enjoying. Like I didn't really find that much
Is
enjoyment
that
out
an
of it.
old movie?
I don't know how
Yeah,
Is
old
no,
it
it?
I
is.
feel
Let me
like
look it up.
I think it's like early 2000s maybe. But I feel
There
like that
was,
movie's more of a meme than anything.
Well, they've made
yeah,
so
I think
many
it's
of them
become
now.
that way. Yeah. The
Oh, there's a fourth
Yeah,
one, isn't there?
yeah, they're making the first one was made in 2009, and it was made by like a
I see.
Dutch body horror, or no, it's a Dutch body horror film, is what it's called.
I don't know if you guys ever like watched a shit ton of horror movies, but there was like a time period in the early aughts where they just like stopped being creative and like just started being
Yeah,
like
like
gross as
torture
hell.
porn.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
was like I just remember like watching like
Slashers.
like I
it's
enjoyed some of them like House of a Thousand Corpses or whatever, like Rob Zombie shit. It's disgusting, but like that's the point. And like
yeah.
but like I remember watching The Hills Have Eyes and being like, this is just
This
disgusting.
sucks. Yeah,
Yeah, like
and
I'm
like
like
it's
this
just
is
like
just like
everybody
makes me
was.
feel bad. Like this is horrible.
Yeah, it's just like the thing. It's just everybody was profiting off of Saw because it did so well.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
that's literally it.
that's what I like. You hear that and you immediately think of Saw. That's the first.
There's
At least
so
that's the
much
first movie that comes into
money
my mind.
in
Yeah,
like horror movies. There is so much like low risk, high reward chances going on in horror movies. Apparently, they're like the most profitable, like per margin,
Yeah,
out
I
of
they
mean
any
are.
type of
They
The
show.
genuinely
Sopranos
are.
did a whole bit on it where they just make a horror movie focused on on the mafia or whatever, just to get a
Oh,
Just
that's
cut
to
of the
really
launder
cool.
money.
profits. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, that's actually sounds good.
I love the fact that they even have that dynamic in the show that the mafia would make a horror film because it's low risk, high reward.
That's the crazy thing about the horror genre too, is that like you can be so fucking creative with it and just nobody does.
Mm-hmm. For
Like
sure.
you can get the most
There's
out
like
of a horror movie.
three there's like three tropes. You've got the haunted house, you've got the guy that follows you around and
The
eventually kills you,
invincible guy. Yeah.
and then you got like psychological. So you
Yeah.
have
It's
to
like
pick your
a
poison,
Yeah,
you know.
you
And
really
yeah,
I
do
and
think
have to
even
pick
then
your
it's
psychological is
poison.
the
basically
best,
what was it?
but
Johnny Depp in like Secret Window. That was it's like, oh, it's his own mind. It's like, well, fuck. He just
Mm-hmm.
wasted 2 hours figuring that out.
yes.
Did, didn't he win his lawsuit with Amber Heard?
I think so. I think he did.
God, I
But
remember when Superbad came out. She was on another level when I first saw her. I was in like high school at the time, and I was like, "Holy crap, women like that
the
exist."
the most hard you've ever gotten in a theater.
And what's so awkward is like my girlfriend's right next to me, and then like Seth Rogen ends up on the screen, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, sweetheart.
he just exploded all over the rest of the theater.
It just gets all on the
Fucking.
screen too. It's just everywhere.
Fell apart,
I think
man.
it's an effect for like half a second,
Mhm.
and then it's just bad.
This is one of those IMAX.
You're just like a guy sitting in
Oh,
the
it's one of those
back of.
3D movies.
You're just a guy sitting in the back of the theater, and really quickly you just see something shoot up really high in the air and fall down, and that's it.
Well,
Just
Is
a
that
little.
what was that one of the conduits for you guys when you were younger? Is like I don't know for us in our age group, it was before like social media and stuff. So we'd all just go like meet at the movie theater like on a Friday night
Mm-hmm.
and like try and pull Cuddy.
I was too retarded to have friends as a kid. So I just kind of hung out at the house.
It's not like it brought me anything good. I don't think I got laid or anything. It was just like an
Yeah,
attempt,
no.
right? It's this vain
Mhm.
attempt to, pull.
I was that in between phase where like high school and stuff, we had social media, but we didn't have internet on our phones. So
Yeah,
you know,
that's
Mm.
we had to like make a plan and then meet somewhere still
for
because
sure. It's always at someone's house or something.
yeah, you
Yeah.
could DM each other before you leave and like, are we meeting at the whatever?
Mhm.
And you
But
didn't really
once you
have
were out of
much
the house, you
fear.
just had to be
Yeah.
there.
You didn't really like have much fear of somebody taking a picture of like you're like passed out or like I don't know. There like I'm sure that happened for sure, but now it's like it's all lethal. Like everyone's constantly using that as like some social advantage to take a
Mhm.
picture of like someone's most vulnerable state. Because it's funny or
Well,
advantageous. It like it's always happened, but like I feel like it's more frequent.
well, what it's going to
Yeah.
transfer into, this is going to be get my tinfoil hat on here for a moment. What it's going to
So
transfer into is that if we're ever living under like a totalitarian regime or something like that that has control over a body like the internet, like let's just assume the American government's like
uh,
1984
right,
or
man.
whatever, and they have full control and they are using it to actively control its people. You know what? We'll say that's right now because they are doing it right now, but that's besides the point. Um,
Practically, yes.
Yeah, we
they
don't think any
the
deeper.
government at that point would just take those images, whatever images are online, and they just hold that against they can use that stuff against you and to throw you into like prison or whatever, get you in like
Yeah, just put
trouble.
it all in like the
Or
child
even
porn
then, like they
category.
probably wouldn't even put up the money to throw you in the prison. They could just fuck you out of a job,
Yeah,
like some
Yeah.
erotic
if
type shit.
you're
Be
trying
like,
to
oh,
get
oh
in
you're
like
trying to apply for a job.
you're trying to get into the Politburo, all they got to do is pull up one picture of you sucking a
Yeah.
guy's cock, and you're done.
I honestly, whatever they like, that's the thing is what a lot of people don't realize is like when you're on radar, a lot of people are like, oh, now I can like evade. It's like, no, when you're on radar, you're caught. It's just a matter of when you're caught for whatever they want. I mean, I'm sure people are caught all the time for reasonable crimes, but if you're a target, you're a target. And if the federal government's targeting you, like, God bless your soul. They have a 96% conviction rate and the other 4% are just literally like some dumb new federal agent that didn't know the protocol.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once they bring a case to court with the feds, you're done. They've already
Yeah.
gotten
So
you.
you
They
better
wouldn't
figure it
have
out beforehand and before you even figured out that they even are looking at you.
they wouldn't have moved if they didn't already have you. They would have
Exactly.
stayed in hiding.
Happened to my
Once
brother. Happened
once
to
you
anybody
know,
I
it's
know.
too late.
Anyone that's gotten popped by the feds knows like you were fucked 6 months ago. It's just a matter they decide when you're fucked. Like but
Yeah,
it all happened a long time ago.
Hmm.
for sure.
They just got all day, man, and unlimited funds. They're gonna find something.
Have you guys seen that Twitter account? I'm not gonna say it on here, but it's that dude that he went to prison for shit that he said on Twitter, and he's still on Twitter from prison. It's like
Word?
this
That's
black dude,
fucking
and he
What
said
did he
something about
say?
like
yeah, like we don't
I'll
understand that
show
because
you
we're
guys his account
American, but like in
afterwards.
every other country that's not America, you can get arrested for saying things online that aren't like I'm gonna kill the president.
I
It's
think
like,
he
Oh,
said shit
shit.
like that, and it
oh,
wasn't
well then,
American.
yeah, okay, well then, yeah.
He said some shit like he made some threats or
Well,
something.
if it's
Yeah.
like a
And
legitimate like threat, they pop you for that. That's one of the,
he's still on Twitter as a shit poster. He's still
that's fucking
going. He
badass.
doesn't.
That
That's
rules.
kind of based.
That's the
Can we
poster's
give? Can
pledge.
we? Can we name him? We need to give him a Dudes Rock shout out here.
Can we give,
We
yeah,
do.
Let's
dudes rock,
not. Let's
salute.
not. I'm not going to
The
compromise
based
somebody's
and red
privacy.
pill award.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I
fair.
was about to
True.
say like
True.
we got to get him on the
Is it
pod.
connected to like his real
That's what
Especially
I was
when
gonna
his real
say.
face or whatever?
Get him
like
on.
you realize you're not supposed to have a fucking phone in prison, right? I'm
Yeah,
not
but
gonna.
dude, I
Yeah.
see these dudes doing the crate challenge in prison. It doesn't fucking matter anymore. There's no
People do
rules.
shit all the time in prison.
That's true.
I'll
They
show
do a lot
you
of things.
Death
after.
row's made
I'll show
up.
you after.
You know
It's all fake.
those Italians in the Sicilian sucks
Dude, no
service or
more
whatever.
fucking Italian talk,
They're
bro.
cooking pasta up
No
in
way.
prison and no one's saying anything
You
about it.
Oh hell
We're
yeah!
done
In a
with
toilet
Italians.
somewhere.
No, I don't want to hear the word Italian on this show
Can
ever
we?
again.
We're
What
calling them
about you?
Three times
They're
this
called
episode.
guineas from now on.
What about
We
Jews?
could just we could talk
Oh,
about
wait, no,
anybody.
no, 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 no!
That's Turbo's personal 9/11.
No.
It's just anything with the I word.
Italians.
The I word. We can't say it anymore.
Dylan and I were
It's
joking
just-
about.
there's other
Black
topics.
9/11.
There's other groups of people. Let's
We
move
covered
on.
this last episode. How once you start giving me material for the poleaxe, then we'll go hard on them. We need some material.
Okay.
It's like they haven't been.
I just don't
kind of
think
a
we
Nashville
need to
thing.
draw
They don't have a
everything
focus.
back to Italians. No matter where the topic is gone, we talked horror movies. What did you bring up?
That's true. I
It's a
don't know
Thanos.
why my mind goes directly to
What were
them.
we just talking about?
I think it's
What were
because
we
they're
just
so
talking
What is
it's
this?
so
Italian
easy to make
Civil
fun
War.
of them.
Let me
That's
try
the
and bridge
problem. It takes
We
no
were
time to make
talking
fun of
about-
Italians.
Italians are just like vampires that are more horny.
Yes.
We were talking about prison, and what did you bring up?
Yes. Well, I was trying to bring it
That's
back
true.
to
You did bring it up out of
in
nowhere.
prison.
I tried to bring it back to the SSS bit. I was trying to make
I mean,
a
that's
full,
inherently
full
Italian.
circle.
Yeah.
So, is there actually heroin in Afghanistan?
Is there?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
probably. They got a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, they got
Oh,
plenty.
yeah.
Apparently, it's like literally Grand Theft Auto constantly over there.
Word. Let's go. Let's record an episode in Afghanistan.
What if I told you that Afghanis were the Italians of the Middle East?
if I-
Swear to
You knew I had to say it.
What if I left right now and
I
just
knew that was gonna.
you could do the show by
You knew that
yourself?
was gonna happen.
We knew it was coming. Wow, that's
Shut.
awesome.
You knew it was coming.
I know.
Mommy, what guitar? What is that in the background there? Do you play like guitar or bass?
I play bass. I play
Oh,
bass.
cool. Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Shout out to all the bass players. They don't get enough rec.
Hell
They
yeah.
really don't.
Yeah, you should friend Suicide Pussy because he's always about that. Him and
The-
like Strong Piss.
the Seinfeld theme or whatever, you know what I don't know what to fucking call
Yeah.
it. It's done
Plays
on
stuff.
bass, isn't it? I heard
Yeah,
that
it
before
is.
in the
Well,
past.
actually, I think he was actually doing it. I watched the video. He was doing it with like a keyboard, but it's like the same. Like it was like a bass synth. Like
Okay.
it's the same
Yeah.
thing. I mean, he was playing it clean. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
he's on a
Yeah.
keyboard. You don't have to worry about buzzy frets.
Yeah. Oh man, it would be really cool to have a musical guest on the show too. Just like have someone just do a little ditty.
Like at the
Play
end of the
music.
show, we have like 50 Cent do like a freestyle.
We pay
Yes.
50 Cent to freestyle for us.
Dude, 50 Cent
What's a
has to be.
what's a rapper that
rock.
fell off enough that we could hire?
It's
him?
not 50.
We could probably
He's-
tell Logic
Lil
to
Wayne.
come on. Just talk about being biracial.
No,
I thought
it
Lil
has to
Wayne was
be-
the guy
It
that
has
only
to be like
middle
Flava
schoolers still listen
Flav.
to.
Like we could do
Let's
Flava
get
Flav.
let's get Logic, but keep fucking getting him mixed up with like Macklemore. Like so that song about when you thought you were gay. Tell us
No,
about
it's
that.
gotta be Mac Miller because he's like. So when you died, before you, right after you wrote this song, how'd that make you feel? Do you feel like your audience really kind of like connected to it after you died?
So do you really like
He's
thrifting?
like, what are you talking about?
Do you really like
Yeah.
thrifting? Is that this? I've
you
always
really-
wanted to know that. Are you really passionate about that, or is that just the song?
Were
Did
you really
kids
trying to pop
call
some
you
tags?
gay
We need
because
answers.
you could draw?
Oh yeah, dude. Now we could afford like maybe a cameo from Flavor Flav or something if we all.
Probably.
Like Paul Wall.
Best as we
Got
could. do.
Paul
T-Pain
Wall.
with the auto
Yeah,
tune.
what's Paul? No, what's the other one? What's the dude from like 3-6 that like is falling off? Project Pat. We could get Project Pat
Project
probably for like cheap.
Get Gangsta
love
Boo
that.
and Project Pat.
Dude, Project Pat
Those are
actually
musical
did have
games.
a banger by himself, but yeah, he's just a crackhead. I don't know if I could say that without slander. No, I think he's a crackhead.
He could be.
They're
May
all
or may not be
crackheads.
it, but there's no legal evidence to to say one way or the other. It's all legalese.
You just keep it vague.
Mhm.
Oh, man.
So
Is Ti still rich? Oh no, yeah, I saw Ti in concert a few years ago. He's
it's
still
been the
rich.
dudes like MC Hammer, like he went bankrupt. He would do a lot for a little.
Shit.
Or what
I
about
feel like
some of
Soulja Boy would
those-
just come on because fuck it.
Who's saying chain hang low? Like some shit like that. Who was that?
Yeah,
Sounds like
what's like
a an Asian rapper.
Oh, word?
You might be too young to know what we're talking
What's
about.
that?
Jibs.
What's that?
Jibs? I couldn't have named him Turbo.
What's that
I don't even
Chinese
know the
dude
fucking
who
name.
is like a YouTube rapper or something like that, like Rice Gum or something like that? We get him on here and we just make jokes. We just keep
Rich
pulling our eyes
Brian.
back while talking to him. We're like,
Fucking
He's Indonesian.
Get Rice
Doesn't
Gum on
know
the
this.
podcast and just make fun of him the whole fucking time. Like, just don't even give him a chance to speak.
they're like, yo, can you diss
Rich
track for us?
Chiga.
Yeah, that reminds me of a time where I made fun of another Asian guy. You just like keep on.
Whoa! Wait a
Whoa!
minute. Did
Hold
did
a second
people
there,
not get
Bucko.
mad at him? Did people not get mad at him for going by Rich Chiga?
Who?
How did that fly? How did
don't
that get
know.
by with that?
I'm
That's
still
what I
trying
want
to
to know.
figure out
Yeah.
the calculus that's going on a daily basis
We
with
need to
the
learn the
racial stuff.
we need to uncrack the formula that allows
Yeah,
a
this is
person
like
to use a word and get away with it.
this is like the no Navajo code talkers or whatever. It's
Yeah,
this
it's exactly
uncrackable
like that
like
because people will find ways to do it.
yeah, I
It's
mean
just like that.
you can
It's just
figure it
like that
out.
Mexican guy that was like. There's a video of this Mexican dude back when BLM was blowing up in 2020, and he was just he was just like throwing the N word while on like the megaphone, you know. But he was pro BLM, so he's like using it in a casual, soft A sense. And some guy runs up to him and he's like, hey, you can't say that. You're not black. And he goes, oh, well, I'm Mexican. Yeah, I can't say it. And the guy just goes, oh, all right, and walks away. Just
Exactly.
doesn't even
Like
Yeah.
question it. All he had to say
in
was, I'm Mexican. I can
California,
say
like
it.
I've run into too many white people that say the N word and Mexican people that say the N word in California to be like, yeah, that is a lost cause in California, which is funny because like there's
It's
like a
ironically
huge
California.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
ironically California, but like yeah, you're way part. I mean, like, did you guys watch Krayshawn? Do you guys know who that is?
No, I do
Yes.
not.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like
She
it's
definitely was saying it. I know she
exactly
was.
like it. Like those people are just like infested in California. So it's Krayshawn's just like this white lady, a lesbian rapper, I think, in like Oakland or San Francisco, the Bay Area, and like she had that Gucci Gucci Louis Louis Veni Veni Prada song.
Hmm. I remember
That
watching.
went.
Wow.
I remember seeing some like YouTube
It's so cringe now.
influencer
It
girl or
was
something
cringe
like
back
that,
then.
that was just like the same thing though, where she lived in California and she made some video that was like, I had no idea that that word had so much negative connotation. I'm like,
Yeah, it's
you cannot plead that in this
No,
day and
but this
age.
wasn't an influencer. This was not an. This was
no,
just
but
a
what he
rapper.
said, no, he was
Oh,
just
okay.
saying like it's the same, like it's a reflection of it because it is like in California, people like I would imagine that's a common thought. Is like, no, I had no idea that like this meant like lesser
But
than
if
somebody.
you
Like
grow up in
this is
America,
like brother.
if you grow up in America,
It's
every single kid in America now has to read like Huckleberry Finn. So you can't
Of
plead
course,
total
right.
ignorance.
of
You
course.
can't plead total like To Kill a
You can't.
Mockingbird.
Well, I mean,
It's
how many of these people do you think actually read anything that their
Doesn't
school
matter.
assigned them to
It
read?
doesn't matter if they read it or didn't. The
yo.
teacher will still focus on the fact of like racism in those books. They still drill it into your head.
yeah.
You're
It
still pointing to
It's like a
something
big
that
theme in those
nobody
books, yeah.
cares about in school. Like the most rebellious thing is to call like somebody that you're supposed to like think of opposite then is like the same word as they would all call themselves. Like I actually think it's pretty cool. Like it is in this environment it is like antithesis of what needs to be happening.
I do. I mean, building off of that though, with like the California thing, you know, it's just as bad in like the Asian communities in like Koreatown, with like the LA
Oh
riots and shit
fuck
like
yeah.
that. Because
Yeah.
Asians are already like one of the most racist people on this earth right now, and
Was
because
it like the Asian Crips? Like that
yeah, it
video
was
of
like
them? I think it's like a
the
TikTok or
roof
something.
Koreans, dude, roof Koreans. Because they're already like super fucking racist. They have this. They have like the societal views of like, okay, well, if you're
Mhm.
white, you must be very successful. You know, if you're black, you're a gang man. You're a gangbanger. And so, like, you know, an Asian man's worst nightmare is that his daughter brings home a black man. And so you know that like during Korea, in Koreatown during the LA riots, that was just being thrown around like all the time. They're just up there
To
on the
be
roofs
fair, I do think a lot of that started with what you're talking about. Like
with the LA
like
riots.
first, yeah, like first generation Korean immigrants being like, "Oh my God, this is a country where I can come in and we're all equal." And then like seeing the LA riots, they're like, "Yeah, fuck everybody
Hmm.
else."
Well, it's funny
No,
too because
I
they
don't.
at least I recently read that the gun owner in Koreatown, like the main guy who all the pictures
Mhm.
have him in the LA riots,
Yep.
he still owns
Yeah,
and
he went
runs
ham.
that gun store.
Good.
It's
Good. Like
it's
he went
rules.
like it's literally like one guy trying to like fix a problem that is way past himself.
He probably is like his business probably just skyrocketed afterwards too.
There's
Probably.
not many gun stores in California, and their rules are ridiculous with like magazine round numbers and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, but they do. I mean, like they do still own and carry guns, which I guess is a good thing. Apparently, this month coming up, Texas is just like open carry.
Yeah, for
Really.
sure.
I
I
thought
think
we
it's
were
like
still
September
open
1st.
carry.
Well, yeah, I think
I
it's
mean,
just
you're
like
open carry if you're based.
yeah, right. I honestly don't trust myself. I like kind of go against the grain. Like I'm just extremely like right wing, but I'm like, yeah, in a car, I probably don't need it. I have a better chance of it getting stolen from it, and I'm probably just gonna whip it out on some dude who like pulled in front of me, because I'm
Stick it out of the
irrational.
window, just fire a couple shots up in the
Yeah,
air.
You can do that. You
I've
can
already
do
had
that.
like a
Because
couple
those are
road rage
warning shots.
incidents
You're not
too.
shooting them at the dude.
And you're allowed to
Yeah.
point it at people too if they make you mad. You're not shooting them.
He said a mean word. I'm gonna point a gun at it.
You
He
just
made
like
me inconvenienced for half a second, and I'm going to end his.
chicken just throwing his car into another lane, speeding up, and you just were side by side with another car, pointing out the window while looking at
He was
the
going.
dude.
Yeah, he was going 5 over the speed limit, and I mean, it was close to a school zone, so sometimes you got to take the law into your own hands.
You're just like blazing down
Exactly.
I-35, going you just side by side by some dude pointing a gun. At it.
Shit, that's basically the city where I'm
That
from.
shit happens all the time. Like, dude, this poor nurse got lit up in Nashville right before I left. Like, it was like during COVID and everything too, so there's already that. And like, she's just literally driving to work, and some dude like put one in her, and it was like 3 hours before they even realized she was like dead on the side of the road in her car. It
Hmm.
was just like one gunshot. But apparently, the guy, he was like 18 years old. He had already been convicted of a felony violent crime, and he had he thought she had cut him off. So obviously that's the right way to end
Handle it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man, that's the thing. I see cars just on the side of the road all the time too. I just wonder how many of them just have dead people in them.
At least a
I would
couple.
imagine if you count the trunk, a few. You
Some of
pass
them
by
are
Non-zero.
one, yeah, non-zero.
some
Sure,
of them I bet are just
non-zero.
people who just like rolled off the side of the road. Like I was going down I-35 at one time, and I was on the lane, and it was like this van that was going side by side, and he started to just like slowly get off into my lane, and I realized that if I didn't speed up, he was gonna hit me. So I sped up, and I just in my rearview mirror watched the dude just pull off the side of the road and then just slam into the median and continue going. And I'm pretty sure that could have been some dude that was having like a heart attack in his car or something like that. But I feel
Nice.
like 85% of the time when you see cars on the side of a major highway like that, it's situations like that. Just people just
Yeah,
going off
yeah.
to the
Really?
side of the road.
Well,
Yeah.
like if it's abandoned, that's different. But like
Hmm.
if someone's there, like it's either a flat tire or like it's a medical
Engine
emergency.
broke down, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a guy in front of me. I was like driving up to college. I had probably 10 minutes left in my drive on the interstate. This guy in front of me was like kind of swerving a little bit, and then all of a sudden he yanks left into the left like concrete railing, and then
Hmm.
comes across 4 lanes of traffic, gets through across all 4 of them, and on the fourth one there's a semi truck, and it
Oh my
basically
god.
T-bones and like I truly believe it was a heart attack or like some sort of passed out situation, but it's like
Hmm.
fuck. I mean,
Dude, that's
by the
crazy.
time he got hit. I was like 200 yards ahead of him. I saw him in my rear view. He was in front of me when he started swerving.
Yeah,
And it's like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
that's
Am I
kind
gonna
of what
stop and
happened
like?
with me.
It's like that's so fucked. I mean, driving is probably the most dangerous thing you do.
Yeah, like well, and on the
That's
highway
crazy.
situations like that as well, because you can't stop on the highway and you can't turn
Oh
around. So
yeah.
when you see that happen, you just keep on going.
It's so fucked up. It's like, and then it like rocks you for like a day or so, and you're like,
Yeah,
what the fuck? And like, I probably couldn't have helped. There was probably 10 cars behind me that saw it and, were easier to react, but like, you're still like,
someone
what
else
the
probably called 911 or whatever.
fuck? I've been a part of the one though that like you do actually pull over. I took my like polo off and this poor guy like hydroplaned and flipped in front of me and
Damn.
his bone was showing and he only had
Ooh,
like three or four dogs in the car and no other people and like we had to rip him out of the damn fucking car and I called out of work that day because I was hungover coming from Knoxville and it was right before we got home. Storm came, he hydroplaned, cut his wheel on a Ford Explorer, a '90s version that was top heavy, and like it just I've never seen it before, but like the left wheel buckled, it popped forward and got airborne on its own. I've never seen it before in my life,
Hmm.
and yeah, he got fucked up. But we were lucky to like leave before we had to do the witness statement. It took like an hour. He
Those
was fine.
those '90s Explorers have like a weird suspension that I feel like
Yeah,
gets worse only with age. And I say that coming from like that was one of my first cars was a '99 Ford
for
Explorer.
sure.
And when they're
Yeah,
that
everybody
old and
knows
they've
it.
they've got like 150,000 miles on the odometer, it's just
He just like hydroplaned and he cut and overcorrected too far to where when the wheel finally caught, it was at an angle at 70 miles an hour that like is unsustainable, and it like popped his whole car up. It's like out of a movie, like a stunt driver did it on
oh
purpose
yeah.
or something.
it's like a Michael Bay type
It
thing.
it literally was. It looked
That
like a
was his
fucking
audition
Michael
for a
Bay.
Michael Bay movie.
Oh man, it exploded too. Just
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was just missing like a 100 tall foot like
fucking
explosion.
Autobot looking ass.
He's got like his friend in like another car on the highway that's got his camera there. He's got a selfie camera in his car, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Dude, we are totally gonna get started in a Michael Bay film."
We're independent photographers here. I got my badge here. It's like, why do you have dogs with you? He's like, that's all part of the scene.
It's all
Why
part of
does
the scene.
that badge say fucking? I don't know. I was gonna.
Uh oh, you lost
What?
your
I lost my train of thought.
damn.
What badge?
Oh, talking about the independent photographer badge. I was gonna say
Yeah,
something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
pedo badge.
The pedo
Exactly.
badge.
The
Yeah.
So
Did you win
pedal.
any?
Krayshawn is an OnlyFans girl now.
Who?
Wait,
You ever
who?
want
What?
to see what that looked like?
Are
Who?
you serious?
Yeah, dude.
Who the fuck
Have
is an
you been just
OnlyFans girl?
looking into creation? Have you just been Googling her the whole time?
Well, okay. To be fair, we were talking about her, so I
No,
was just
no,
like,
no,
"What's she
you're
up
right.
to?"
I just remember this like 10 minutes ago. I've been there Turbo talking while he's like, Krayshawn's got an OnlyFans now.
Mhm.
He's got
I'm
like
not saying
red
to subscribe
cheeks.
yet. I gotta go get my
Yeah.
credit card, but
Looks a little drowsy and he's got red cheeks.
Oh,
Turbo,
he's a
what the
little.
hell have you been doing?
I can't tell you why my hand's been under the table this whole
Yeah,
time.
Turbo,
But
I haven't been able to see your hands the whole entire. No, to be honest with you, back in like I don't know freshman year of college or high school or whatever, I thought she was. I mean, she's one of those like dyke lesbians from
Mhm.
from the Bay
Wait,
Area, but
she's not a dyke. She's just always had long hair.
just seems
wait, are you
she's.
talking about Rachel Dolezal?
No. Oh my god.
She
That would
also
be
has an
another.
OnlyFans.
There's so much more there too. We should go to her next. Now
Have
we
you
were just
guys
talking.
seen that video where they made Rachel Dolezal? First of all, have you heard how she says her own fucking name?
No.
So
Probably so
pretentious.
funny. Yeah.
Which is sounds like I'm being an asshole, but hear me out. She's like Dolachal or something like that. She
Dolachal.
puts like a little squiggle over the Z.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
it's some chilling fucking thing.
That's so
Probably is.
badass.
But still just say
Doesn't
it
that
right.
make like perfect sense though with somebody like that? Like, could you?
But The
Could you
video
imagine?
though was like, congratulations to the 13% crew. You've done 50% of the work, and everybody,
No. Let's go
everybody says
reverse
it's 13.
FBI
It's really like 6. So good job, everybody.
Bro, why the fuck is everybody in the top 1% of OnlyFans? Someone's got to be fucking lying at that point.
Because how many people sign up and they don't do shit?
Yeah, I mean that's true, but like,
Your
man,
OnlyFans is getting
everyone's in
rid
the
of
top 1%.
sexually explicit content. They're trying to
I
break away
heard
from
that.
porn.
That sucks.
It's a bold move.
Why?
But apparently
are
there's
you
the
saying that as
parent.
someone who pays for OnlyFans?
No, I'm just saying
I'm
from like a
painfully
share,
asexual.
like apparently it was because of their like volatility in the market. So like it's crazy that like shareholders would say like we're gonna honestly bite our hand here, like bite our, I don't know, in spite
I
of our
think it's because
faces,
it was
whatever that
getting
fucking
way out
said.
of hand. They were talking about how like former OnlyFans girls would say, you know, it just inches more and more until the point someone's like, I will pay you $25,000 to fuck you. Like, let's meet up right now. Like they were saying, like it's
Yeah.
a road to prostitution, and that I don't.
Well,
Practically,
who could have guessed something like
I know
that?
who would have guessed. Wow, shocker in Shocksville.
Could you imagine explain like going back to Rachel Dolezal, not to derail, but like, could you imagine explaining to like some civil rights like activist back in like the 70s or something that somebody like Rachel Dolezal exists? Like that would be so funny.
Yeah.
Just
Turbo's pouring some
Does
out. What are you drinking there, Turbo?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yes.
that Evan
Yeah,
Black.
Evan Williams,
you. Hell
Oh
yeah,
my
dude.
God.
cheap whiskey.
Hell,
That's
fucking
Yes, sir.
that's worse than green.
dudes rock.
Dudes rock.
rock, dude.
Hell yeah. I'll take one with you, Turbo.
I am out of alcohol. All I have is straight vodka, and I'm too much of a pussy to drink it.
Damn.
Yeah,
Don't
vodka
know.
sucks.
You're right, especially when it's
I'm feeling
Smirnoff, because I'm
attacked right
poor.
now as a vodka drinker.
I mean,
No, I think
yeah.
it's great. I think it's like if you're day drinking, chill drinking, you're looking for something that doesn't make you feel like you're burning up.
Well, South Texas is also
vodka's
turning
great.
into like the vodka capital right now. There are so
Which
many
is so
Austin
strange.
vodka brands, and yeah, it feels like I
Yes.
don't understand why vodka. You'd think it'd be like tequila or something.
Right.
Yes, and like
I mean, that's
Tito's
everywhere else in
almost
Texas.
makes sense because I think it's been around for a while. But like, what's it, the other ones? How many? There's Deep Eddies, right?
Yeah.
Or-
Deep Eddies, Tito's. What else is there?
I feel like there's a few more that I see at the liquor store all the time.
Those are kind of the more expensive ones. I feel like the rest are probably a little bit more cheaper.
Yeah.
Just kind of local. I like every week I see this new like local Texas company. That's
There's a big
vodka.
old Tito's billboard right as you like cross the bridge into Austin or whatever.
Yeah.
You see it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
okay.
right there. It hits you in the face every time. It's great.
You got your shot?
Yeah.
I don't have a shot, but I have plenty of illicit substance.
There you go.
Well, you're about to rip a dab.
Nah, I'm just about to hit that bong.
We're about to.
Oh yeah, he's clearing it
it
out
looked
with
like
a
a dab.
pencil.
Yes,
Old
I
school
am.
style. Yes, I love it. Dude, I've used
Nice.
paperclip, pencil, thumbtack. You know, it's whatever it takes.
Ready?
We should have.
Cheers, Turbo.
It's like I gotta get my Marajuni ready.
We should have an episode for Turbo where every time someone says the word Italian, he takes a shot.
Oh,
He just
gosh.
fucking
We
just
would have
dies
to
by
get
the end of the
like some
episode.
actual like Italians in here because
I
I
just
feel
think
like
the joke has been beaten to fucking death.
well,
Like on
that was
Twitter.
kind of what I was getting at. Is like I'm not. I don't have Italians in my life, so all of my shit is runoff. Like you know, and it's like at some point
just
it's
memes.
just fucking yeah. It's like I'm just saying the thing that made you guys laugh harder than whatever I said.
Yeah. Well, and
Like-
that idea was more like to punish Turbo because he hates it so much. Like he
Oh,
cannot
yeah,
stand
yeah.
it. So it's like, oh, he has to take a shot every time the word is even heard.
Yeah, for
I
me,
know,
it would be
it's not
like
even his
you know,
fault.
like overweight
I-
black woman clapping in my face.
You know, I
Like,
used
it
to
could be
love. I used to love shitting on the Italians as much as anybody. But I just think that the joke is a little bit worn out.
Here's the thing:
It
is I
is.
think they love it
We need a
a
new
lot
target.
too.
I
What
I
about
mean,
the
They
Chinese?
Germans.
like it. They like the attention.
Okay, we could go
They
after
do.
Germans
They
easy.
go
Why
after the
not
Jews.
Please,
Filipinos? We should go after
me
Filipinos.
me
Filipinos is
sitting here
fun.
with Germanic heritage, I need some more. We need some more German bits going on
But
right
it's
now.
funny that like they're the one. There's two groups of people that have literally not allowed to have an army anymore.
The Germans.
Out of the whole world decided that two groups of people are just they've gone far enough, and Germans are one of them, and the Japanese are another. The Germans gave us, I guess, Shiza porn, and now we've got anime. So I guess it's better than genocide, but
Yeah.
we're still debating about it.
People get freaky with sex when you're not allowed to kill. You go the other direction.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Heard that
you have to
shit
get all
though?
that aggression out somehow, man.
They like literally, I think it's something like there's some political rule where it's like if you have a protest that's more than 5 people, they consider it like a riot. Because
In
they're just like
Germany?
so, yeah, they're like so, we're not gonna have some sort of troublemakers come and rile up some
That's
shit.
hilarious.
Like it is so the opposite direction.
Well, they're
Uh,
scared of like
you know,
anything related. So,
yes,
like the term Nazi is
anything.
their N word. Like you cannot
Yes,
say
yeah,
Nazi in Germany. They won't have. They don't want anything to do with it. And granted, it is good for them to disassociate from it, but it's
but it's
borderlining
a
that
part of
like
history,
it's
right? So
borderlining
it's
I've
that
been a
like
thing where
ticket
they're
for it.
like they're almost like being denying. They're edging towards being
it's
deniers, where they're
almost
like it didn't happen.
Orwellian.
Yeah.
So there's a parallel in America that we could all take a stroll
It would
through.
be better for them to be like, it did happen, and this is what we could learn from it. But they are
Yeah.
totally like disassociating from it to the point where they're trying to like erase it from history.
Yeah, that sounds very familiar to something
no,
that's
that
going
that
on.
part's not familiar because we won't shut up about it.
Well, that is a good point. That is a good point. Yeah, even me
It's
talking
like
about
that.
it kind of defeats the purpose of bringing it up, which
Or
is
even
good.
like that Tuskegee shit too. Like they just gave a bunch of black prisoners syphilis and shit and just didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild. Um, and that's like it's so funny they're like trying to bring it up into like this like political thing, like the getting the vaccine or whatever. It's like, yeah, there's like a whole group of people that are very skeptical towards any sort of forced government vaccine. Like,
You know what's funny is that
uh,
universities are really taking like COVID precautions into their own hands. I'm not going to name the university, but
I'll do it.
So the U.S. government can't, they've said the Texas government has said that you can't force someone to wear a mask, and
Mm,
in the English department of the university that I go to, they they totally overrid that. They're like, the English department
mm.
is requiring you to wear a mask, and we won't let you in the building if you don't. So the universities have crossed that level now where they are just ignoring state law.
It
It's
is
just
like
like,
Yeah.
almost an extreme federalism,
yeah.
that I feel like even like some people like me kind of like tip their cap to in a stupid fucking way, even if I disagree with it. I just love the
Yeah.
idea of the state not being able to tell you what the fuck to do,
Oh
especially
yeah.
if you're a group of people that think that you're in better interest of yourself.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's something I disagree with, but it's like goddamn.
On the contrary, I think the state should make all of my
I
decisions.
agree.
I'm not. I'm not any
Wouldn't
good
life
news
be
for
so much
myself.
better?
They should pick my
Oh
days.
man.
I'm a menace to
You are a
society.
New Yorker, aren't you, Turbo?
I need them to tell me how to
It's
run my life. Otherwise, it's gonna be
safe to say
chaos.
that Turbo has completely transformed.
He's
It
a
He's
is
going to be
full on New
voting
totally.
Yorker.
for AOC here shortly.
My
Mario
last
Cuomo just
apartment
walks
is
up to your house and gives you an itinerary for your.
To be fair
I'm
though,
just
like
a. I'm just a good old fashioned homosexual.
there we go.
those tweets are
Hey.
so funny to look at right now. If you just like type that word into Twitter or like some of the famous people that have constantly been sucking him off, it is so funny to see those now. That he's become politically inconvenient and discarded.
Oh, 100%.
I'm sure Brooklyn Dad has some good tweets
Oh
about
yeah, it's like
the worst
we need
man
to
on
start
Twitter.
thinking about the court of public opinion. I bet she's got one of those that's like all these women, could they all They're all in cahoots.
Yeah.
Different ages, don't know each other. Yeah, they've got it out for my Neanderthal governor. The guy
Don't
looks
you
like an
goddamn
ape
say
person.
it, Kim. I know what you want to say about him.
No,
What
it
you
has
want to bring
nothing to
up.
do with the fact that he's Italian. He
I
looks
wasn't gonna
like
say that.
somebody that is
I actually zoned out
way.
for a moment.
No, if
He
you
called
look
him
at
a.
like a picture of a Neanderthal and you look at a picture of Andrew Cuomo, they're much closer to Neanderthal than, yeah, I mean, the rest of us. He's an ape person
Hell yeah.
You didn't
just
see
because he
that tweet
could.
the other day? White people are aliens, actually.
Oh, that's true. I can confirm that. I'm autistic.
Did you guys see that one?
Hey, I'm
It
okay
is
with
like
that.
funny.
It was like
Yeah,
popping off, and this girl was like,
is that
she's
it?
like
Like there
white
used to be
people's
so
aliens
much better
because
like white
they look
critiques.
different. Like,
They're like,
Is
how do you
that it,
explain
man?
white people if the human race originized in Africa, huh? They're
Mhm.
aliens.
basically, yeah, she just said there's just no way we could exist because we're so different that we must be
Bro, we can't even
aliens.
get this goddamn virus down. And
And it
yeah,
was
we're
the
very certain
scary
about
thing.
every other thing that's going on.
The scary thing is it was about 50-50. About 50% of people were like, yeah, white people are aliens. And we're like, well, I don't know, maybe
I
You know, it's
love
not.
wild.
that.
It goes back to that like separate but equal thing. It's like, there's like a bunch of racists that would probably like in some weird way agree with you.
Yeah.
That like
Well, it's like
Or
black
even then, it's
Yeah.
supremacists
probably
are
just
like,
it's
like,
hell
saying
yeah,
anything
put a
profound.
black supremacists want separate but equal, but like that, they have the upper hand on that one. They're like, let the white people fucking suffer in their own hole. Who gives a shit? It
It's
goes
so
both
wild.
ways.
It's crazy that we've come to that. Like
Yeah,
or
it's
even just
hilarious.
like,
conspiracy theories just don't
It's
even
so
or
make
even
funny
just
that
like
we've come to
white
a
guilt
point now.
and as dudes.
It's so funny that we've come to a point now where like we're almost like rewinding back, but the other side gets their turn. Where
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
Yeah,
let's
there's
not
no
fix
like
the issue. Let's just dial it back 50 years, and then we'll let someone else have the whip.
It's
it's
my
like
turn on the oppression.
the
It's their
difference
turn to
in
impress. It's their
between
turn now.
it's like the difference in between fairness and retribution,
Yeah.
right? It's like, no, we owe you. Rather than like, hey, you weren't alive and like let's just make it better for everybody else. But no, it's probably much easier to
Well, I'll
just
be
be like,
honest
no,
here.
you own this one.
I would undergo like a year or two of like 4 years of white slavery just so I could say the N word for the rest of my life.
You know
Then
what? Yeah,
that's
wait
in
a
the
minute.
same
That's a
vein.
good trade.
That
Same
sounds like a
vein.
fair trade. 4 years.
No,
Two
like
years, 2 years of
Turbo,
hard
you
labor.
go. Turbo,
No,
you
no,
go.
Years
no,
of hard
4. It's got to
labor.
be. It's got to be for every
4.
year of the
I've
Civil
been
War.
oh,
61 to
so like I
65, so it's got to be 4 years. Every year of the
and this
Civil
is
War, that's what it is. So white people got to have 4 years of slavery.
And then we
this
can
Love
is
it.
say it.
And then
We
we can
can
probably
say
say it
it.
I
however
don't
we
even care
want.
about saying it. I just don't want to
Past
hear
the
it anymore. I don't want to hear all the bullshit,
4 years.
all the
all past
fucking
offenses of
bitching
white
and
people
stuff.
are immediately forgotten
Yeah.
upon release. After 4 years of slavery, they are
Oh
totally
my God.
redeemed. They are
I've
clean.
been
They have not. Nothing can be held against them because they have paid their dues to society.
Kim, I've been talking about this forever. Like, if there is some part, like, I actually do believe in reparations, as stupid as they are. If that means there's some sort of like end to all of this retardedness, like, yeah, I will literally bite the bullet for my ancestors' quote. We came here in the 20s, but whatever. Just so where I don't have to hear a bunch of people bitching about the stupidest fucking things I've ever heard about in my life.
No, you can't make
It's
And
gotten
that's
to
the
that
thing,
point.
though. It
I
won't.
would just
It
say it
won't
so. I
anymore.
would just do it so I
No,
could say
there'd be
the
no
N
end
word.
game. There's no end game. There's no fucking we're all good, we're square, everything's fine. It's like this it's this whole it's retribution on both sides. It's a
Like,
stupid like tit for
No
tat
dumplings.
gayness.
people exist just to fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
Legit.
I mean, it's kind of sick, but like that does drive a lot of people to keep going, and it's
Mhm.
fucked up.
Well, humans are naturally tribal as well, and so we can't
Of
act
course,
shocked when
of
people gets
course.
into a camp and being like, "Oh, this is my side, and I hate
Well, and that's the
fucking
thing
everyone
too,
else."
is like there should be some sort of reformation rather than like entrenchment. And I feel
Yeah.
like that normally it's like, yeah, you might as like, okay, yeah, but you're wrong on this, but you should entrench in this other like tribalistic view.
All right, we're getting
Instead of
really, we're
like,
getting dangerously close to having some very serious political takes about racism.
I think what we should do. This is the last one.
it only
Alright.
I think
matters.
we should
if
make
you
last
everybody
one.
sit down and listen to the song "Imagine."
Okay.
By John
John
Lennon.
Lennon.
While
Yeah,
Gallagher
and I really
goes,
do think that
Yes.
would fix everything.
And everyone
Yes,
has to everyone has to sing a verse. Everyone has
Yeah,
to
it has
pitch
to
in.
be a celebrity, melody there.
A celebrity
Yeah, it's on
representative
repeat.
for that race. So you got a white celebrity, you got a black celebrity, you got a celebrity for every single race that will sing a verse and bring everyone together.
Turbo, I think
But
you're right.
instead of an Asian, we'll get Jimmy Fallon, and we'll have
We'll make him
do
race.
his
He'll be
Put him
yellow
in Asian face.
Yes. Jimmy Fallon Asian face. That's it. Ring it
That's a
up.
Google
That's the
search.
episode right there.
Yeah. Let's do the plugs. This is Ad Silent Skim here.
Oh, how long has it been?
We're about
It's
53
8:00.
minutes in.
It's 8:02.
We're
All
If
right.
these hiccups don't
Cocaine
stop in like
Boots.
10 seconds, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
I just want to get the
Turbo
plugs
Cum,
out of the way.
Cocaine Boots.
Oh,
Let's say it
Cocaine
again since
Poop.
they kept.
Yeah, at Cocaine Poops.
Yeah, at Cocaine Poops. I'm Turbo Cum. Check me out.
At bondage_chicken. Check me out.
All caps.
Umami on tap.
There we go. All right, now we can move on with our lives.
Cool. Love it.
Let's go, dude.
So, boys.
Oh.
Yeah, it was fun. That was
thought
more
that was
like
a good
casual.